Can a 44-year-old classic movie be updated and still be relevant to today? This is what Tina Fey has set out to do with the Four Seasons, so let's talk about it.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
I'm Danny.
I'm John.
This is What Are We Watching? And today I am talking about the new Netflix series called The Four Seasons.
Oh, yeah.
This is based on an old classic movie that I love called The Four Seasons. Do you know what year that movie came out?
77.
Nope. 1981.
Yeah, I was only 4 years off.
I opened with 44-year-old.
I couldn't do the math that fast.
Yeah.
Hey, I did math, tried to do math quickly, and I came within 4 years. I mean, that's my plus-minus range.
Do you know who wrote and directed the original film?
I do. Alan Alda.
Good.
Yep.
And he starred in it. Can you name anyone else that was in the movie?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, Carol Burnett.
Yes.
Yes.
Rita Moreno.
That's it.
Bess Armstrong was Ginny. You know everyone in the movie.
Yeah.
You know everyone in the movie. I watched this movie. Go ahead.
No, I think you made me. Not maybe. I think we watched it.
Really?
I think.
I just watched it if it's on, I watch it.
I think early in our career, in
our career
relationship. Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll unpack that one later.
Yeah.
I think early on we watched it.
It wouldn't surprise me. I love this movie.
Yes.
This is one of those, I was 5 when it came out. So by the time it was probably on TV, I was probably 9, 10, 11 years old. Who knows? But I watched it a lot, which probably seems odd. But we've heard Tina Fey saying the same thing about the movie. Since she was young, she watched it all the time. For me, The Big Chill, these were like insights into my parents and their friends. Because my parents were the same way. They had these group of friends that they did everything with. We went to the beach every summer with, that sort of thing. So I think as a kid, it was kind of me trying to watch those sorts of people, even though these people were always much more fun than my parents.
It probably seemed pretty familiar to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that was my thing, but I've watched it many, many times all my life. When I first heard about this series, I was not happy because it's a classic.
Yeah.
And I was just like, don't mess with a classic. And then I heard it was Tina Fey, and I thought, maybe, I don't know. So, I have now watched it. Let me give you the rundown.
She's probably one of the few people that you could trust.
That I trust, yeah. And then I found out that she went and met with Alan Alda and spoke with him, and he's in the series. And so that gives me comfort that at least,
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's only 8 episodes. They are all on Netflix. Every episode is 30 minutes or less, so we're talking 4 hours of viewing time. It's very easy. The write-up is 3 suburban couples vacation together each season, but tensions arise when one couple splits up and the husband brings a much younger woman on subsequent trips. Because I can talk.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah. So, the cast we all know. There's Tina Fey. Her husband is played by Will Forte. There's Coleman Domingo. His husband is played by Marco Calvani. And then the third couple is Steve Carell and Carrie Kenny. And then when Steve Carell breaks up with Carrie Kenny, his wife of 25 years, the young girl is played by Erica Henningsen. Tina Fey keeps things in her family. Erica originated one of the roles in Mean Girls the Musical. So, you know how all of this
So
goes.
who plays Frankie Valli?
What?
The Four Seasons.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, gosh.
Right now, a bunch of strings on the stage, and if you know,
Sorry.
if you know, you know.
Okay.
So here's the thing that worked for me with this.
Okay.
One, it wasn't expanded into 8 hours. It was expanded into 4 hours, so it's a little more than a show. It was than the original movie.
Right.
2 episodes are basically a season. So again, they go on a vacation every season, so 4 trips a year.
Okay.
Really, when it comes down to it, this is the movie and this show. It's all about timeless
Topics.
Yes. Which are basically, and it's about relationships, it's about friendships. So age-old relationship questions of, long-term relationship problems. What happens when one person is growing or changing in that direction and the other person isn't? Do they have to split up? What happens when you take someone for granted because you've just been with them forever and you guys have settled into roles that you live in forever, and that gets old or gets, tiresome on one person's behalf,
I've heard.
And life just takes over, right? So all of those age-old questions are still in this TV show. And is it relevant? Yes, because everyone kind of goes through that if you've been with someone long enough. Then with the friendship issues, it's also the same thing. Like, how much can you butt into someone else's relationship before you've crossed a line when they're having problems or something? Or what happens if a couple breaks up and you still have this couple group and now there's this new young person? Or you want to bring the one who was left, you know what I mean? It's very convoluted, but there's a lot of humor, a lot of humor in this, just like the original movie. And I think everyone can relate to at least one of these couples, if not all of them, really all of them.
And certainly the topics. I mean, we've all been there where we've had a couple that we know that split up and you're friends with both of them.
Right.
Right?
And you feel like you have to choose.
You do.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We've all been there.
Yeah.
So it gets kind of sticky.
So the great part that Tina Fey did was she kept all of the character names the exact same, except Claudia is now Claudio. So that made it really easy in my head to kind of remember
if you
and
know
keep
the movie
track
really
of everyone.
well. Yeah. Yep.
So Anne, who is Carrie Kenny, she's the wife that Steve Carell divorces and then gets involved with the younger person. In the movie, she was played by Sandy Dennis. And she wasn't as big of a character. We didn't know a lot about her. We saw her like in the first Vacation, and then it was, she's going to be left. And we ran into her later on in the movie, and she was kind of just really depressed and trying all these weird things. This time, they kept Anne in the mix the whole time, and we learned a lot more about her and seeing someone going through that in a sometimes really funny way. And also in a really mature way too.
Yeah.
To show how if they have a daughter in college, we also get to learn a lot more about the daughter and how she's feeling about the breakup of her parents. And it just gave a little bit more time to flesh out everyone. Especially even the other characters. We just got that little bit more to kind of get into what they're going through and really experience it. And so I loved it. I enjoyed it so much. I'm surprised on some level. There's just something about this too that when I first started watching it, do you remember that show I loved, Friends from College?
Yes.
With Kobe Smulders and
wasn't Keegan-Michael Key in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like, all these couples that had been in college together, which also these had too, but they were like in their 30s. This felt like, okay, now we're around 50. Yeah. So I just kind of love watching these different things when they're done, when they're made really well and done really well.
Right.
And you can really relate to people who are maybe in a stage that you're also in. That one was kind of people who've been together for maybe 5 to 10 years. That little itch thing that people go through. This one, definitely a bigger thing.
That little itch thing.
The 7-year itch. It's real.
I guess.
Yeah, we wouldn't know.
Nope.
E-
Love you. Mean it.
That doesn't sound right.
Uh-oh.
Let me see. Oh, also in the original, like I said, Bess Armstrong played Ginny, who was the young girlfriend that was brought in. And you didn't get to know a lot about her, too. She does have a good scene where she kind of blows up at everyone, but it still wasn't enough where, again, in this one, we learned a lot more about Ginny. We actually saw her and her friends and her environment, and got to see her be I think back in in 81, we just perceived the young girls like the ditzy blonde and
Sure.
whatever, and we got to see that this girl had more to her in this this series. So it just felt good. It just felt kind of, again, for someone who really, really knows the movie, it felt like I was just seeing these characters more, and I loved that.
So all the characters were full characters.
Yes.
Yeah, which is different than the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
But it just kind of added on to my love of the movie, quite honestly.
Sure.
And for those that have never seen the movie, I think you're going to be just fine because you're getting these fully fleshed out characters, and you won't probably have it. I mean, I think they talk about how they met, they talk about what they've been through in the past and all that. So you'll get a full story out of the whole thing as well.
Good.
They changed some things. Some, as I was going through, little minor things like about where someone gets injured, it's one vacation instead of another, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a very, very, very major change at the end. And at first I was very angry about it, and then I kind of understood it gave an ending. You had asked if there'll be a second season. I hope not.
There shouldn't be.
There shouldn't be. This was just for this movie. I don't need to see them go on 4 more vacations and go through something else. Everyone kind of went through what they were going through, and then we had the arc, and we ended, and that's probably it for me.
I think we're starting to get used to the idea of single
limited series,
one-off seasons that
I
you don't
hope
need
so,
a second
but
season. And
Netflix can go like this, and Tina could go, okay, no problem,
sure.
and we'll see.
And we've all sat through things that should not have had a second season.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
That's
also
sticky.
So I highly recommend it. I'm giving this series an 8. Definitely worth checking out. All 8 episodes are on Netflix. Like I said, it's 4 hours out of your life. Super, super easy watching. And you'll enjoy it. Everyone's so good. Coleman Domingo, I just love him so much. I can't,
He's ultra cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really well done. So check it out. If you've already watched the 4 seasons, or if you love the original movie, would love to hear from you. Please comment below and tell me what you think of both. And like the video. It really helps us on this channel.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe. We have lots more reviews coming out. He will eventually get to talk about something.
I will. Yeah, I've watched stuff. We just aren't talking about it yet.
We're getting to it. And that's it for this week. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.